Welcome to the Human Nature Channel. I'm your host, mtamsula, also known as Daddy Baby on Twitter. And what am I doing here? Well, what I'm doing today is a new introduction to an old video. The Human Nature Channel's video number 6, That's a Nice Thong. Originally uploaded on December 12, 2018. My birthday, by the way, in case you want to mark that down. There's a few reasons why I want to upload this video again. One of them might be you haven't seen it. The other is the essay that went into this video was something I was particularly proud of. I liked the writing. Everything I thought an essay should be was in there. I'm very pleased with that. Also, I was thinking on doing kind of like this hick Tucker Carlson, right? Because that's what he does. He reads an essay off the teleprompter. I mean, he's got a nice backdrop. I had mine, which was dangerous sandblasting. I still got the sign. It's in the corner. So, this was the original plan for the Human Nature Channel. Okay, I'll do 2-3 of these a week. I'll be happy. Who knows? Who knows where it'll go? That was before I started doing Las Vegas shooting videos. So everything got different after that. But originally, this video is what I wanted to do. Okay. So I'm looking at the video this morning, right? And I'm going through it. And I'm like, oh, I really do talk fast, don't I? Oh, I don't really like that. I wonder if there's anything I could do. And actually, it turns out in my video editing software, there's speed adjustment and you can lengthen the duration of a video clip. So I actually was able to slow down the speech, actually all the way down to the point where I sounded like Sylvester Stallone. It's like, yeah, I'm getting up in the morning, I'm drinking my coffee, watching the Today Show, and I'd really like to see Katie Couric before I go down to the gym. But then Katie left the Today Show, and I've never gotten over it. It's like, I could have left it like that. I'm like, nah, that's me just being funny. I actually got the sound up. I should say, got the speed to the point where I don't sound like Sylvester. And so I'm just going to do this video again. There's also going to be a change at the end. The thing about muscular chicks, when you get hugged by one, you know you've been hugged. And there was a time, years ago, I could do 100 push-ups with my feet on the bed. Oh, I'll hug them back. Oh, you better believe it. Well, enjoy the video. Welcome to the Human Nature Channel. I'm your host, mtamsula, and what am I doing here? Well, what I'm doing here today is talking about the problem of identifying good broadcast journalism. Just to be clear, I'm not setting this up as some type of good journalism versus bad journalism dichotomy, because the type of broadcast journalism I'm using as contrast isn't technically bad work, but it's a journalistic style I don't particularly like. One where the questions are disguised as little speeches, where the goal of the interview is not to extract information or even establish an individual's unique point of view, but to signal an agenda. I would rather step on a used Q-tip on the ground than listen to propaganda disguised as journalism. Now, I happen to be a big fan of the broadcast journalist Katie Couric. I think she is really good at what she does. I first became aware of Katie in the late 90s when I was still finding work doing computer-aided drafting. I'd get up at 6 in the morning, have my shower and breakfast, then at 7 I'd be drinking coffee, and while waiting to leave for work in 20 minutes, I'd watch the Today Show. I always liked Katie's style of broadcast journalism. I remember the moment I realized just how good she was when I watched her coverage of the Columbine school shooting. It was thoughtful and restrained. You could see the look on Katie's face that her heart went out to the survivors and family members who lost loved ones. However, she never let her emotions get in the way of doing the story. She never inserted herself into the story. Never once did I feel Katie was exploiting the people of Littleton. She did her work honestly and objectively. By way of difference, let's talk about Ann Curry, Katie's colleague on Today. Just for the record, I want to say, even though I was never a big fan of Ann's, I thought the way she was unceremoniously booted off Today was atrocious. As if scapegoating her for the show's poor ratings wasn't bad enough, to give her the don't let the door hit you in the ass treatment after all the heavy lifting she did for Today, to not get the happy send-off that Meredith Vieira received, who had not been on Today for nearly half as long, made me sick. I said to myself, I'm through tuning into this morning snake pit. However, there is the issue of Ann's style of broadcasting. The way I reacted positively to Katie's way of doing business, the opposite was true with Ann. She'd do something that is unfortunately all too common in the news biz nowadays, and it drives me nuts. She'd find a way to editorialize. Sometimes it would be in the way she framed the question, or in her tone of voice, or the back and forth she'd have with the person she was interviewing, but it always came down to this. I knew what her politics were because she was selling it. And, being a proud progressive, never missed an opportunity to drive the point home. Now, Katie and Matt may have been big liberals just like Ann. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me if they gave their names and time and money to liberal causes. But you could never tell that based on their reporting alone. It was something I appreciated. Not so with Ann. I remember one time watching Ann as she was interviewing the black conservative columnist Shelby Steele, and he was saying things I'd heard other black conservatives say before. Oh, the civil rights movement has outlived its usefulness, or that black communities need to focus more on self-reliance, etc., etc. At that point, Ann leaned back in her chair and said, "Oh, come on." Oh, come on. I could not believe what I was seeing and hearing, and apparently the absurdity of an Asian American woman telling a black man how to be black just flew right over her head. Ann Curry editorializing to beat the band was not something I wanted to see. If you're a broadcast journalist, your politics mean nothing to me. Please keep it to yourself. Why do you think voting is with secret ballots? Because I don't have to know. Now, I don't know if Ann's style of journalism played any role in her departure. I have my own theory as to what was really going on. But all I can say is, Ann, where did all those group hugs get you? Not long before Katie left Today, she interviewed some guy. I don't even know who he was. I was in the kitchen while this was going on and came into the living room at the tail end of the conversation. The man said to Katie, "You're very nice." For some reason, Katie stiffened in her chair and said, "I'm not nice. I'm honest." Whoa, we just hit an iceberg, abandoned ship. I'm not exactly sure why Katie reacted the way she did. Maybe she thought he was getting cute, or maybe he strayed into territory that demanded a quick response, especially on air. I thought about what that meant, and I'm speculating here, but Katie may have been saying, hey, if you're going to make me part of the story, it better be about one thing and one thing only. I did honest reporting. Katie is not interested in hearing she's perky, or she's America's sweetheart, or she's a glamour puss. That may all be true, and maybe even appreciated in a different context, but not when Katie is on the clock. The story is not about her, and she seemed particularly scrupulous about it. When Katie is being a journalist, who she is not germane. There's a line she doesn't want crossed, and she'll enforce it if you do. At that moment, I said to myself, there's a pro. And Matt, you poor bastard, how many emails did I send to Today back in the day trying to warn you people over and over about how ruthless Hillary Clinton could be? After that Commander-in-Chief forum where you repeatedly pressed Hillary about her emails, she wanted your head, and it looks like she got it. I'd be surprised if this hasn't crossed your mind already. Hey, Silver Fox, did you think I was talking out of my hat? Now, if you wish to debate this topic further, please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section below, which is where I'll pick your brain apart neuron by neuron. But it won't be so bad. Everybody gets a thumbs up. Please like this video. Please subscribe to this channel by hitting the icon in the lower right corner of the vid. Without subscribers, you're nobody till somebody loves you on YouTube. Please hit the blue bell to receive notifications of new videos, and please contribute to me at patreon.com/AlexMtamsula. That's how we keep the lights on. And read me on Twitter at AlexMtamsula. One time I was watching the Today Show, and Lisa Marie Presley is out on the plaza on stage doing a song. And while she's doing this song, she would walk to the edge of the stage, walk down the stairs to ground level, turn around, walk back up the stairs, turn around again. And while all of this is going on, her lowrider jeans are sliding down past her hips and they're continuing to go. Matt says, "That's a nice song." Al says, "That's a nice thong." Matt says, "I need this job." Matt, Katie, Ann, and Al. That's when the Today Show was a lot of fun. Have a good one.